Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Cahoot and I'm so excited to be sharing my first project for Honeybee Stamps. And today I have the honor of sharing a sneak peek to the Curious Kitty stamp set. This set contains lots of kitty cat images and all kinds of poses and sizes, as well as tons and tons of accessories to go with the kitty cats. To get started, I stamped out a random background with all of the cute accessories included in this set. I'm stamping here a cute little fishbowl, but there are fish and mice and butterflies. There's just tons and tons of things to go with your little kittens. I did some very basic Copic coloring, and I wanted to keep the coloring light because I wanted the star of this card to be the cute little cat and the sentiment that I add later on. So I just chose some random Copic markers, get all those little images colored in there. As you can see there's just tons and tons included in this set. The next thing I did was stamp out the little kitty cat image that I wanted to use. This is the largest kitty cat in the set, and I just love the way that he's sitting down and he has that cute little smile on his face. I stamped it one time and then flipped my paper over and stamped it one more time just in case I messed up. And then I colored him with my Copic markers. I chose a W7, W5, W3, and W00. I wanted the main color of the little cat to be a W3, so it's not too light and not too dark. I added the dark parts first because I tend to get a little heavy-handed with my Copic markers. So I added his dark little spots there to the tips of his ears and tail and little paws. And then I filled in and went over and over and blended with those other colors. I'm adding some dark spots to his little face there. And then before I was finished, I used a colorless blender and added some texture and spots into his fur. I also used a black and white gel pen to add details into his face, and I like to take a sharp tip black marker and add in details to his face and to the little paws where it kind of gets lost in the coloring. Here I'm finishing up by taking a white gel pen and adding a few little freckles to his cheeks. I cut some vellum with a stitched rope circle die there, and I am prepping that with my anti-static powder tool. I'm going to heat emboss some greetings onto this little circle here. I am borrowing the word birthday from this Sending You Sentiments stamp set. And the whole greeting here with my little kitty cat card is going to say Meowie Birthday. So I'm going to get that birthday all lined up in my MISTI, ink that up with some VersaFine black onyx ink, stamp that down, and then I'm going to dip this into some clear embossing powder and heat it up. Next, I'm taking the Meow out of the Curious Kitty stamp set. I'm going to ink that up with the same VersaFine ink and rub that with my fingers, and again I'm going to dip that right into the clear embossing powder and then heat it with my heat tool. Now, like I said, I wanted the sentiment to say Meowie Birthday, so I actually am taking a sentiment from the newly released, or newly sneak peeked I should say, Welcome Baby stamp set. There's a greeting or a sentiment in that set that says special delivery. Well, the Y in that word matches perfectly with that meow, the font. So I'm going to borrow the Y. I'm going to mask off the rest of the word and then ink up just the Y with VersaFine Black Onyx ink again. And then I'm going to gently pull off that Post-it note so I don't get ink everywhere. And then I'm going to close the lid of my MISTI and make sure it's all lined up with that W. And I don't want to forget my anti-static powder there. Give it a little rub down with my fingers. And there you go. I love masking. I love getting more use out of stamp sets and trying to stretch the stamps that I have. Tap that off, and I'm going to heat set that with my heat tool again. And I like to make sure, especially when I am using vellum and embossing on vellum, that I make sure my heat tool is good and hot and then heat it up very quickly. I'm going to add that cute little kitty cat there to the greeting. And I made a little ball of yarn out of some twine. I'm going to add that there with the greeting. And I'm getting it all wrapped up. I'm going to use a little bit of glossy accents just to make that twine stay exactly where I want it. And then I'm also going to take my glossy accents and go over each of those little fish bowls to make them look watery and glassy. I like to add the glossy accents kind of in a big blob across what I'm adding it to, and then use that fine tip point to kind of smear it around and get the bubbles out and make sure it's spread all the way across the little image there. When I was finished with this, I set this aside and let it dry, and I'm going to add this to a purple A2 top folding card base, and here is a close-up. I love those little fish bowls and how those turned out. Thank you all for joining me for this Curious Kitty sneak peek. This stamp set, as well as all the others in this release, can be purchased on Friday. Please stay tuned to the Honeybee blog for more information and for more sneak peeks. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.